study reports complaints of harm to LGBTQ have increased by 11%. According to the annual report by the Aguda, Israel's LGBTQ Task Force, the number of complaints of harm from members of the LGBTQ community rose by 11% last year in 2022. The task force received 3,309 complaints of harm to the LGBTQ community compared to 2,971 in 2021. The number of complaints peaked in June, which is Pride Month. 25% of the complaints were received in November and December after the Knesset election and the establishment of the new right-wing government. The number of reports of LGBT-phobia in the public sphere, as well as reports of discrimination by businesses, also rose significantly. The report is based on self-reporting of the Aguda hotline, with some complaints filed by phone and others online. The report was written in cooperation with the Israeli Institute for Gender and LGBTQ Studies, headed by Dr. Sigal Goldin. About half the complaints, 51%, concerned harm to the LGBTQ community in media and social media, and the rest, 49%, concerned incidents on the level of personal interaction, some in schools and in the public space. 35% of the incidents took place in the public sphere, on the street, in recreational spaces, or in public transport. The report says that the high percentage of incidents in the public sphere may be the result of an increase in LGBTQ phobic comments in public discourse over the last year. It's an interesting study report that anecdotally can be applied to a lot of communities that we're reporting on around the world. We've reported increases in Hungary and Warsaw, in Poland broadly. Of course, we know what's happening in Russia, and basically they have decided that there are no gay people in the country of Russia, and even if you say otherwise, becomes illegal. This story is interesting, I think, because Israel, once upon a time, was considered much more LGBT embracing than they are in 2023. And their reason is similar to our reason here in America. A much more conservative and cleric evangelical conservatism is taking hold in Israel. And when that happens, hate goes up. It's the opposite of religion soothes. No, evangelical religion causes more harm.
And it's, they're a democracy, but they're driven by a theocracy. There's like a shadow government, not to the same extent that you get over in Saudi Arabia or Qatar or Yemen. But let's face it, they've now got hardline conservatives in power that are going to push this rhetoric. And that's how they shore it up. Because if they don't marginalize every single person who's not in their very shaky coalition, then the whole coalition falls apart. So they are literally gaining power with every anti-LGBTQ hateful statement that comes out of their mouths.
Yeah. And I think it's those statements that, as we've seen here in the United States, when hate and I'm thinking of our past president, who also normalized anti-Semitism, anti-LGBTQ, anti-Black, when those things are spoken out loud, I think everybody has biases, and it's our job to confront those in ourselves and to not speak on them. But when someone in power speaks them freely, it becomes okay for people to express those things and not challenge them within themselves.
LGBTQ+ news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+ community.